Lucky Boys Podcast.
America is like, we belong here as much as you do. You stole this land, right? You massacred and caused genocide among the indigenous peoples, native peoples. You don't own this land. You killed people for it. So you might, and for some of them might think, yeah, and we deserve the land because we did, which I don't agree with, right? So there's a lot of differences on what America is, but if we can find an agreement, intersectionality, if you were coming outside of the political systems, left and right, what would you say? You just want safety. You just want to be able to live,
to raise a
freely,
family,
right? Yeah, exactly.
Take care of your family.
Forget about left and right.
Yeah.
Humanity. What's
right,
human?
exactly.
And find and where we intersect, and can we work together for? I mean, the only real teaching of Jesus was love thy neighbor. Everything else was all these other guys tried to decipher and interpret what Jesus is teaching, but he didn't really Jesus didn't really have a lot of commandments, So to love thy neighbor. If we can all love thy neighbor, it'd be a much, better world.
That sounds amazing and beautiful, those type of philosophies. But the truth is, it feels like we're at war right now. We're at war, not in the sense where we're attacking, but just where we're just standing up for ourselves. We're in a defensive war now. And the offense is going to come from our words and our actions and how we support one another.
Absolutely, I agree.
Hard. It's hard to use the old philosophies and be a good Christian, right? And say, love thy neighbor. If someone slaps you on your right cheek, let them slap you on your left cheek. Someone steals from you, you give them your coat too. And you're looking at it like, that's not going to work, because while I'm doing that, you're hitting, things are happening to my neighbors. Things are happening to my mom. Things are happening to our youth. And we're going, okay, logically we're going, the only way to fix this is to fight back and to speak up. The old ways of being passive or quiet or just letting things pass because it already happened, I don't think are applicable anymore in this era.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. So I think that the individual has to do some research and soul searching and wonder what it is, what their individual reason is to be alive, right? In this moment, how can I step up to fulfill my destiny as a living human being on this planet right now? What am I doing for the betterment of society, for my community? So is it that I just change this war through love, or do I go out and patrol the streets with do I go out looking? Like, there are some vigilantes out there, right? And peaceful vigilantes, which I in some ways it's okay as long as you're not attacking someone for their color and you think they don't belong in the neighborhood. But everyone has to do their own, because everyone's of a different place and understanding of their role in society. So if you were Martin Luther King or Gandhi, you would say, the only change is in yourself. You have to change yourself to change society. If you were Malcolm X, you would say, I need to arm my people. I need to teach my people what's happening now. I need to educate my people because my people are being killed. Look, I'm the first to love one another, but I'm not going to love someone who's coming at me with a noose, right, to hang me. So as soon as he said that, you see the white media goes, Malcolm X is about hate, it's about violence. He's about fighting us, he's divisiveness, and Malcolm X goes, no, I'm not about hate. I love people. I love the human race, and I love my people more than anything else. So I want to protect my people, and it would be negligent of me to not teach my people their history, to tell them how we've been, fooled in voting and getting rights, and we never got what we were promised, yet we were supposed to vote for them, and we did, So yes, it's about being educated, and how do each one of us educate ourselves to choose the proper choices, make our proper choices in how you want to see the world. And it is, I agree with you. It is, we are at a war, so you have to understand, how do you behave in a war situation when you're being attacked?
How should we behave?
Exactly. I mean, for me, I will try to do the work of educating and protecting my community through compassion and love, because I think that you can change your enemy through compassion, or you're going to have to just kill your enemy. There's from a Buddhist point of view, you're not supposed to kill anybody, but if Hitler walked in front of you before he killed 6 million Jews, what's your
move?
Yeah. Are you going to let 6 million people die in front of you? Because you had the opportunity to get rid of this person right now. So that's a question that each individual has to kind of like research and ask themselves and commit to, because it's your life. How are you going to step up and show up for yourself in this world?
I think Asians, not just in America, but throughout the world, because I know we get some messages from folks from Australia, Europe, Switzerland, in countries that we don't expect that we have reach, but we get messages from them, and it's strange because they message us more than anybody in Asian countries, but they tell us about the racism they experience. And I think we're at a crossroad where we're looking at this and we're realizing that we do need to fight back. Maybe not in the sense to that extreme where we're saving millions of lives. We're just trying to have a local impact within our communities throughout the world where we each are. And when in accumulation, that is millions. But we're at a conflict because we were raised or within our culture, and all of us, that's where we have many similarities, to not be confrontational or
sit back
or attack or go on the offense, right? That's, for the most part, we're not aggressive in that front. And now we are. It's changing. I'm starting to see a lot more. But I think a lot of people, Asians all over the world, are right there, and they have that conflict where they're not sure. And they're just making a decision whether or not they should or should not. Should I be safe? Should I look out for my own hide? Or do I go in and save my brother, my sister here? And they're not sure. Even with the video that I saw right here on Bayard Street, where, and this got a lot of Asians amped up, where that 59-year-old lady got punched in the face with that person who obviously had some mental issues with them.
Right.
And those two Asian guys sitting in the booth just watched and just sat there and looked. They didn't even try to come in between. They just literally froze. They were, I would have to say, possibly in shock. And I can just see them. They were scared, but they were also paralyzed, where they just didn't know. They weren't quite sure. Like, do I put myself in harm's way, or do I want to be harmed myself? Can I actually do something? And I think a lot of us are in that road where we're the ones sitting there, metaphorically, right now. We can choose to go in between what's going on right now, or we can just sit there and continue to have our meal and be in our nice little chair with our food and just carry on. We have that choice.